How many of you know somebody who will be nice, give compliments, be so sweet to your face, but then talk shit about everybody they know? You ever met one of these people? Like they're nice to everybody, but it's pretty obvious that that's not sincere.
Welcome to the Ignited Recovery Podcast, a new way forward for anyone looking for answers but feeling left out. If you've been searching for empowerment, triumph, and purpose, you've found them right here. You won't hear the same solutions, and you're not going to have any excuses to fall back on, because Ignited Recovery allows heroes to rise and become their best selves. I'm Dr. Sophie Jaffe, and I can't wait to be your guide on this journey. Are you ready to become an ignited hero?
So the idea is this. They talk about things on two dimensions: challenge directly and care personally. I'll explain them very quickly. Again, this comes from the work setting, but I think the same idea applies in our everyday life, right? Care personally means you actually are invested in the relationship, right? You actually care about the other person. The reason this comes up in a book like this is because they're talking about business, and sometimes in some business settings there's actually this weird sense that you shouldn't care personally about the people. Right? Like this is the work setting, we leave ourselves outside and we kind of go and do what is needed at work, but that's false. Right? If you work with people you don't care about, and if the people that you work with don't care about you, you feel it. Right? You don't want to show up in the same way, but I think in personal relationships, we obviously understand that caring personally is a good thing in your relationships. And then challenge directly. Can you say what needs to be said when it needs to be said? One of the examples I love from this book that is really kind of funny is, if somebody walks out of the bathroom and their zipper's down, or they like have some toilet paper stuck to the bottom of their shoe, are you going to let them know? Or are you going to kind of just go, I don't really, that's weird. I don't want to point out this person's flaw. And then by letting them walk around with it, you're hurting them, right? By avoiding conflict, you're hurting them. That's a really, really simple. The idea in this book is that radical candor is where you want to end up, but let's go through these other segments. If you don't care about people, so you're low on care personally, and you don't like challenging, you avoid conflict, there's this manipulative insincerity sense. How many of you know somebody who will be nice, give compliments, be so sweet to your face, but then talk shit about everybody they know? You ever met one of these people? Like they're nice to everybody, but it's pretty obvious that that's not sincere. That's manipulative insincerity, right? That's like, look, I don't want conflict, and I don't really care about what's right and wrong in your life and where things should go. I'm just going to pretend like everything's great, even if I hate everything you're doing. That's manipulative insincerity. If people do want to challenge you, right? Like they want to tell you when you're wrong, or they want to give you their opinion, but they don't really care about you, they can be obnoxious. We all know people like this, right? People, it seems like there's no empathy at all. They can just attack when you're weak, attack when you screwed something up. But it doesn't feel like it's coming from a place where they want you to be better. They just want to show you that they know you're wrong. Does that make sense? Anybody ever know anybody like that? Could be a family member, right? People have family members like this. Let me point out to you all the ways you're screwed up, right? But there's no, because I want your life to get better behind it. And then this one is really, really important in my opinion. And this is where in relationships we can screw up. This is when you're conflict avoidant, but you really do care. It's like manipulative insincerity, but you really, really do care. It's ruinous empathy. I'll give it in the context of the work we do here, right? You've been on a group at some point when somebody's going through a really, really tough time. And one version of reacting to them is to just be happy, right? Just be good. Oh, it's okay. Everything will be better next time. You're a great person, and I really, I want you to know that we really love you. That's nice. It's really, really nice to hear. But if there are some things they need to be challenged on, some things they need to see that maybe they're not looking at, some perspectives, some stories they have that maybe need to be challenged, and you're not doing it, I like that ruinous empathy, right? You're being empathetic in a way that may actually damage them. You're not allowing them to have to take a look. I've recently seen this I don't know if meme, but this notion going around on social media where your real friends are the friends that tell you what's up. Right? Those are your real friends. Your friends that go, "Hey, what are you doing right now? This isn't you, or this isn't good for you. You have to check yourself." Right? Those are your real friends, whether they're family members, adopted, chosen family, whatever it is. You know what I'm talking about? Now, again, they don't have to be right. They could be wrong, but they'll tell you and challenge you from a place of caring. So that's in this book what they talk about is radical candor. Now we talk about radical transparency, but this is different. Radical transparency is me sharing openly what's happening for me. This is from the other side. This is candor. I'm going to tell you what's happening for me in our relationship, caring about who you are. So I'm not going to deliver it like an asshole, but I'm going to do it in a way that serves our relationship and hopefully serves you. So now I'll speak to intimate relationships first, but here's the thing, right? This sounds so nice on paper, but getting radical candor from somebody else doesn't always feel good. I would argue a lot of times it actually feels pretty crappy because it's not necessarily very obvious stuff. I'll use that toilet paper example again, right? You may literally not know that it's happening. You may be doing something that you didn't intend to do, especially didn't intend to do it the way it came off to others. And now somebody's holding a mirror to your face, showing you what it looks like. It can be embarrassing. It can hurt your ego. It can cause you anxiety and stress. So this is where the caring part really, really comes in, and especially in a romantic relationship. The question is, can we develop the sort of relationship with our partner, or when somebody calls us out, we start with the idea in mind that they would only say this because they have our best interest in the relationship's best interest at heart and be less reactive or less defensive.
Thank you for tuning in to the Ignited Heroes Recovery Podcast. I really hope you found the information here useful and that we'll see you back here next week. And look, I want to make sure that this podcast is the most useful it can be for you, so please let me know by emailing info@ignited.com if there are any specific topics or questions you'd like to have addressed. As usual, if you like this episode, I would love for you to leave us a 5-star review and rating. Thanks, and see you next week.